Back here at the Bill Cook Gymnasium for game number 2 of tonight's doubleheader on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. The Dons men's basketball team will resume play here in the Orange Empire Conference as they'll take on the Lasers of Irvine Valley College. Welcome to the broadcast, everyone. My name is Noah Alvarez. Thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. The Dons put together one of their strongest preseason performances in nearly 10 years. However, they dropped their first 2 games of conference play against some very tough opponents. It's always a tough match on any given night here in the OEC, and today will be no different, as the Lasers have been a solid program for the past 20-some years. They're under a new head coach, though, so with different leadership, we'll see how the Lasers program is this time around. It's a relatively young team, and the Dons will look to bounce back with the victory. Again, let's go ahead and introduce you to both squads here today. Irvine Valley College enters tonight's game with a record of 8-7, and they're also 0-2 in conference play. They dropped their first game to Fullerton College 61-47, and then to Cypress by a score of 63-49. The Lasers are led by first-year head coach Jason Gary, who spent 14 seasons as an assistant under the legendary head coach Jerry Hernandez. The last 2 seasons, Gary spent time as an assistant with the Lasers women's basketball team, but took over as head coach during this offseason this past summer. Hernandez still serves as an assistant coach on the coaching staff. He had been the head of the program since 2001, been a part of the Lasers since 1995, and he finished his career with 441 wins, 13 playoff appearances, and led the program to their only trip to the state tournament in school history back in the 2009-10 season. On the other side of your screen, it's the Santa Ana Dons. They enter today's game with a record of 10-5. They're 0-2 in conference play, and they're 6-1 here at the Bill Cook Gymnasium. Santa Ana is led by 22nd-year head coach David Bragg, who has this year's team among the best teams in the state in points scored per game, assists, and offensive rebounds. We'll take a break here for the national anthem and come right back with the action.
People always ask us, what's a Don? And our response is easy. To us, a Don is someone who embraces the grind. A Don is a person that brings passion. Someone who takes advantage of all their opportunities. A leader, a dreamer, a winner. The question we have for you is, are you ready to be a Don?
Back here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. My name is Noah Alvarez. Game 2 of the doubleheader tonight here at the Bill Cook Gymnasium. Again, grateful to be bringing you tonight's action. The women's came away with a victory over Santa Monica College. And it was in game number 1. Larissa Robles led the team with 22 points. And the Dons women's basketball team picks up their 12th win on the season. The Dons men's team enters with a record of 10-5. They're 0-2 in conference play, losing to tough teams like Riverside City College and Fullerton College. Fullerton, of course, winning the 3C 2A state championship, not last season, but 2 seasons ago. Last year, they were actually in the Final Four and lost to the eventual championship in the men's side of things. But it's a very tough Orange Empire Conference, and the Lasers are another tough team here. Always been competitive, made the playoffs plenty of years under head coach Jerry Hernandez, but under new leadership now, as Jason Gary will be the first-year head coach leading the Lasers tonight. Again, they enter with a record of 8-7. They're 0-2 in conference play, losing to Fullerton and Cypress. They have yet to score over 50 points in a conference game. Again, my name is Noah Alvarez. Thanks for tuning in. The Dons will be in the white uniforms with the white shorts and red lettering across the chest, black numbers, while the Lasers will be in their visiting blues. They got the cool gray stripe on the side, and Irvine in the white and gray in the middle of the jersey across the chest. Starting lineups will look like this. Starting with your Santa Ana Dawn, it's the same starting five they used all season. Cameron Swift will get the start at point guard, a 5'10 freshman from Pacifica Christian High School. At the other guard position, they'll go with Mac West, a sophomore, 6'4", from Capistrano Valley Christian. He was second team All-Orange Empire Conference last year, averaging 14 points per game. This season, still bringing the heat scoring-wise, as he's currently second on the team with 14 points per game. Calvante Ellis starting at one of the forward positions. He's a sophomore from Warsaw, Virginia, standing at 6'3". He was first team back in the 2022-23 season, took last year off, and played 2 seasons ago for head coach David Bragg. Ben Ahinakwa, sophomore, 6'5", from Tustin, California. And at the other forward position is Jackson Brennan, a 6'4" freshman from Thunder Ridge High School, which is over in the city of Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Irvine Valley wins the tip, and so they'll start off with the ball. They're going from right to left on your screen. We'll get you their starting five. At the point guard position, it's Alan Moser, a freshman from St. Paul. He has the ball right now, gets it underneath, down low to Josiah Reed. Alan Moser, Josiah Reed, Amin Allen, Giannis Aldeguer, and Ben Starks. Ben Starks, a 7-footer, so something to keep tabs on is how the Dons deal with the height. They dealt with the Andre Skellen of Riverside City, who's a 6'9" center. Jackson Brennan cuts underneath, dishes it out to Ahinakwa, and Ahinakwa cashes in on the first bucket for the Santa Ana Dons. The Lasers do like to slow things down, get into a half-court offense. Traditionally, very good defensive team under head coach Jerry Hernandez. But again, it's a new head coach, a new era starting for the Irvine Valley Lasers with Jason Gary. Dons would like to play fast. They like to mix up the defensive looks. One thing, if you can follow along on your screen, how many different looks do the Dons give on defense? Nice move there by Josiah Reed. Has the first 4 points of the evening. It's an early 4-2 lead for Irvine Valley here in the first half. Sometimes the Dons will start in a full court trap. Sometimes just a half court trap, full court press. Mac West short on the left hand, and he's fouled by Reed. Sometimes they'll start out in a 2-3 or a 3-2 zone, and mid-possession they'll switch to man-to-man, or sometimes they'll trap, depending on where the ball is for the opposing offense. It's a really fun but also confusing defense head coach David Bragg and his coaching staff runs on the season. Mac West has struggled from the free throw line, gets the first one to go, shooting 66%. Really struggled in that game against Riverside City, and that was a big reason as to why they lost. As a team, they were 16 of 27. Mac West was 5 of 10 from the free throw line. He cashes in on the first two. 4-4 is the score. The more full court pressure. Jackson Brennan being the point man. The Lasers do get it over to their 7-footer. Calvante Ellis, rises up and gets the block against the 7-footer, much taller. That's Ben Starks in the middle for the Lasers. Cameron Swift with all sorts of space. And it's the first lead of the evening for the Santa Ana Dons. Blocked again by Ellis. Ellis leads the team with 2 blocks per game. Mac West now pushing the tempo. Out to Brennan. Near side corner 3. Rimmed out. Rebound to Ellis. Ellis, nice up and under there. With a double pump. And it's an 8-4 lead early on. Long cross-court pass here as the Lasers get it across to Aldeguer. They get into their half-court offense. This is where they want to live. Not a high-scoring team. Through 15 games, they're only averaging 65 points per game. Haven't scored more than 50 in both their conference games. Out to Reed. Reed spinning towards the baseline, being guarded by Brennan. Back out to Aldeguer. Aldeguer is going to take a tough step back, long 2. Only hit the backboard, not the rim. And so that's going to be a shot clock violation, as we'll see the first substitution of the game here for head coach David Bragg, as Javon Maxwell will check in. He likes to start Ben Ahinakwa. We'll quickly go to Maxwell or another big man to play at the forward position. Looks like there's also a substitution as Ben Starks checked out, the 7-footer, and Matt Mowers will check in, standing at 6'5". Big height advantage for the Lasers, but we'll see how the Dons respond. Jackson Brennan dribbles it off his own foot. He loses it, the first turnover of the evening. The Dons as a team are averaging 86 points per game. Yes, 86. Only 70 points, though, per game in those 2 conference games against tough teams like Fullerton and Riverside City. In the preseason, they were up near the 90-point mark, which was good enough at one point for third highest in the 3C 2A. They're still in the top 15, currently sitting 12th as far as points per game scored on the season. 6 seconds left in the shot clock. Something's going to have to get going for the Lasers. Cameron Swiss playing some good defense. Another tough shot there. Talking to head coach Jerry Hernandez. Mac West lines up a 3. Too long. But talking with head coach, or former head coach Jerry Hernandez, he mentioned it's a young team before the game, a very young team. They struggled against some of the more experienced veteran teams in the conference to start things off. Jackson Brennan to Maxwell. Maxwell goes baseline. Brennan acted like a screener there, and Maxwell gets an easy 2. Head coach for Irvine Valley, very upset. Again, that's Jason Gary, who's now the head coach of the Irvine Valley Lasers program. My name is Noah Alvarez. Thanks for tuning in during this 30-second timeout. We want to thank you for tuning in to the broadcast. If you're following one of the members here of the Santa Ana College men's basketball team, be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel where we'll stream all the home games here at the Bill Cook Gymnasium. Again, not all the games I can attend, but even the games I won't be at, you can still tune in to the video feed and watch the live stream, catch along with the footage. Again, that's if you're tuning in and following one of the members of the Santa Ana Dons men's basketball team. We'll be streaming all the men's and women's home games this winter season, and when spring starts, right around the corner actually, at the end of this month, we'll have our first baseball and softball games, so be sure to tune into that. Very excited for Dons and baseball and softball just around the corner. First home games will be near the end of this month, as we'll get you the schedule up ahead, maybe later on in the broadcast. Substitutions coming in. Now is Miguel Llamas going to check in at the point guard position. He's out there with Matt Mowers and 3 of the starters. Reed on a cut, baseline. Gets a wide open look for Aldeguer. Gets a defender up in the air. Mac West flew right by Aldeguer. No, that's Reed on the 2-pointer. Reed has all 6 points for the Lasers early on. Dons into their half-court offense. Just over 15 and a half minutes left to go. Swiss nearly loses it. That freshman guard from Pacifica Christian has started every game this season. Only averages 7 points per game. Here's another elbow jumper, and that's his range. He likes that mid-range. The free throw line extended anywhere between 12 and 15 feet out. He's been money. Cameron Swiss shooting 36% from the field on the season. Again, started off 15 games. Matt Mowers with a spin move, but it's poked away by Brennan. Ahead to Ellis. Ellis will now slow things down, turning back, circling, finding Swiss at the top of the key. Jackson Brennan wide open. Misses the 3-pointer there. It's rebounded by Maxwell. Maxwell no good on the putback. And Mac West, second leading scorer on the team. Both him and Kamari Washington averaging over 14 points. It's really tit for tat. Mac West averaging 14.7, Washington 14.8. So pretty much the same points per scored. There's a good look from 3 for the Lasers. They're not a strong 3-point shooting team, but it's a wide open one. Shooting 29% from the field, or 29% from beyond the arc. Ellis hands it off to Swiss. Swiss now is going to line up a 3-pointer off the mark. Bringing it up is Allen. Allen to Aldeguer. Good closeout there by Maxwell. The defense for the Dons scrambling a bit, and wide open is a man, Allen. 14-9 is the score. Head coach David Bragg giving out the hand signal for a play called hand. Mac West trying to get downhill on Allen. Mac West standing at 6'4", second team all-conference last season. Jackson Brennan gets some separation and cashes in on the right elbow jumper. Bit of a flop there, and good no call by the referees. From our angle here, it didn't look like a whole lot of contact as Josiah Reed went down to the hardwood. Swiss guarding the ball as Llamas in at the point guard position. Here's Reed taking a 3-pointer, misses everything. Rebounded by the Dons. They lead by 7 early on. 13 minutes left to go here in the first half. Okay, thanks for tuning into Dons basketball here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. Ellis, the sophomore from Warsaw, Virginia, swings it back out. 13 seconds left on the shot clock. Brennan now to West. West is going to rise up. Line up a 3. No good. Ellis with the hustle. And they're going to say it's a holding foul. A foul on Josiah Reed. Ellis had the angle. Mac West getting scolded by head coach David Bragg. West thought he was going out to the bench, but it's going to be a different set of players subbing in. Going to go with Jaitis Hayes, as well as Kamari Washington. We mentioned he's the leading scorer for the Dons. Ben Ahinakwa, who was in the starting lineup, and Tyler Peterson. So 3 bench players along with 2 starters. Off a series of screens, Brennan gets it on the inbound. 17 seconds left on the shot clock. Brennan gets his shot blocked. Ahinoquin, wow, at the bottom of that pile, took a hard blow to the back of his neck. He gets up a bit slow. Tough play there, and that's the Orange Empire Conference. It's a very physical conference. Looks like another substitution will come in. Coming back in is Alan Moser. Checking into the game for the first time is Sam Mesa Tayada. Mesa Tayada doesn't play a whole lot for the Lasers, only appeared in 5 games. Kamari Washington out to Brennan. 5 seconds left on the shot clock. Jaitis Hayes is going to have to do something with it. Takes a long 3, misses everything. And that's a shot clock violation on the Santa Ana Dons. So Hayes lost track of what time was left up on the shot clock. It's only the first turnover of the evening for the Dons. Something to keep tabs on. The Dons do love to force turnovers on their opponents. Opponents when playing the Santa Ana Dons are averaging 19 turnovers per game. Yes, 19. 16-9 is the score. Jalen Constantino is going to check in. Another player from Capistrano Valley Christian High School. Teammates in high school with Mac West. 1 grade apart. Constantino guarding the point guard. Moser looking for a teammate. Tayada now down low to Mowers. Lasers with 3 seconds left on the shot clock. It's stripped as he goes up. Hayes now pushing the tempo. The Dons don't have numbers as the Lasers do get back quickly. Peterson now with it. Out to Kamari Washington, the transfer from Citrus College. Ahinoquin gets it on the left block. Rises above Mowers, but a bit too strong on a shot attempt. Here comes Moser weaving his way through. Dons look like they're settling in a man-to-man defense. Kamari Washington comes away with the steal. Washington now. Again, no numbers here for the Dons, so he'll slow things down. See what the Dons could do. Jaitis Hayes drives with that left hand. He is left-handed. Ahinoquin gets the offensive rebound. Fouled on the putback attempt, and so he will go to the line for 2. It's the 3rd team foul by Irvine Valley College. It's on Matt Mowers, big 6'5" freshman from Chabico Hills. We mentioned talking with head coach Jerry, or former head coach, keep wanting to say head coach, but former head coach Jerry Hernandez said it's a very young team, only 5 sophomores on the roster and available to play today. Ben Starks is one of them. He's a 7-footer from San Clemente High School. He started the game, but only played a couple minutes before being subbed out. Looks like the shot clock might not have started in time, so the referee is going to check in with the people working the scores clock. Okay, thanks for tuning in to Dons basketball here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. Moser has it. Constantino guarding the ball. Ball here on the near side wing. Down now on the left block. Mowers trying to lose Ahinoquin and goes underneath the sophomore from Tustin for 2 points. First point by one of the Lasers big men. Kamari Washington has it on the right wing. Don's getting into their motion offense. Washington spinning, gets his defender up in the air. Tough shot there. Constantino finds the loose ball. Jumper no good as he was fading away. It's still a 7-point lead for the Dons. Moser getting swung around. Checking into the game now is Nate Tuttle. Tuttle's jumper no good. Jaitis Hayes went up for the rebound, and boxing him out, getting called for the foul, is Garrett Trayer. Garrett Trayer also doesn't play a whole lot. 6'4" freshman from Aliso Nagel. He's appeared in 6 games. He did appear in both conference games this season, but only appeared in 6. No Ethan Tauber available tonight, a sophomore returner for the Irvine Valley Lasers. So going to a couple different players trying to get some scoring started, and they're going to say Jaitis Hayes traveled. Looked like he went to try for that spin move, but picked up that pivot foot. Too many steps. Ellis and Cameron Swiss are going to check back in. So Swiss, Maxwell, Ellis, Washington, and Peterson are the 5 on the floor. Washington now guarding the ball. Screen there, set. Losing him is Tuttle. Tuttle on the jumper, no good. It's tipped out. Right back to Moser, who takes a three-pointer from the right wing, no good. Ellis fights for the rebound and secures it for the Dons. Ahead to Maxwell. Maxwell going right at his defender. Too strong. Good defense there by Amin Allen. Allen now has it on the right wing. Gets it down low to Mowers. Mowers try to spin baseline. He's trapped there on the right block. They're going to say there's a foul on Tyler Peterson on the reach. So it'll be Irvine Valley ball, 22 seconds left up on the shot clock. Moser gets it now. As they get into their offense, also coming back into the game is Ben Starks, that 7-footer, standing in the high post at the moment. He'll now set a screen on Moser. Swiss goes underneath the screen. Maxwell sends it back, but it might have been a foul either on Maxwell or Peterson, who came in on the help. It's going to be a foul on Maxwell. So Maxwell did get ball up top, but might have hit Moser on the drive with the body. Dons have been stuck at 18 points since the 12.5-minute mark. Irvine Valley was stuck at 9 for a while. They did get the 11th point about a minute ago. It's definitely been a defensive contest here through the first 10 minutes of the first half. Peterson will sub out, as he does have now. Just double check. Only one personal foul. Thought it was his second. 14 fouls on Santa Ana College, 2 by Irvine Valley. Jackson Brennan will now check back in, as well as Mac West. Some more starters coming back in for head coach David Bragg in his 22nd season as head of the program. Ellis going downhill. Trapped there by Moser. Moser gets called in for the reach. Or are they going to call that? Yep, they are going to call it on Moser. Punching through the body of Ellis. And the Dons haven't made the playoffs since the 2013-14 season. That was back when our very own Cammie Lewis, the SID, now was on the team. It's been quite some time since the Dons have played some very competitive basketball and are fighting for the playoffs. Maxwell will take a 12-footer and gets it to go from the far baseline. That ends a 4-minute scoring drought for the Santa Ana Dons, 20-13, back to a 7-point lead. Dons looking like they're going to trap there. Moser gets it to his teammate, Trayer. Now going baseline, kicking it back out. Trayer dumps it off to Starks. Starks misses the point-blank range, had it blocked, and they're going to say someone got him on the arm, and it's Javon Maxwell. Thought that it might have been Ellis, the second defender. Second personal on Javon Maxwell. Maxwell is one of the taller players here for the Dons at 6'6". So they definitely need him to stay out of foul trouble. Although the Dons did a pretty good job, too, of handling Andre Sketlin, the 6'9" center for Riverside City. He finished only with 4 points and actually fouled out of the game after scoring 22 points in his game against Orange Coast. So the Dons, despite their lack of height, do pretty well against other big men. Cameron Swiss now getting trapped. Gets it out to Ahinakwa. Both him and Brennan were there at the same spot. Some miscommunication there. Mac West being guarded tightly by the Lasers, and this is what the Lasers do. Play very strong defense, make things very tough, muck it up, and force you to beat them with good half-court offense. Moser now ahead to Allen. Allen, far side, gets it over to Tuttle. Allen thought about the three-pointer. He's being guarded by Ellis. Moser will take the three from the left wing, right on target. 20-17, Dons lead only by 3 now. Lasers are battling here. So is a battle here in the Orange Empire Conference. Swiss getting a screen from Ellis. Will take another mid-range jumper. He's 3 for 3 from the field. 22-17. This is usually the time, too, in the final 7 minutes of the first half, as Starks gets the roll, misses the layup. Right there for the rebound is Trayer. But around that 7 to 8 minute mark for the Dons is when they start picking up the scoring in first half past. Swiss coming off a curl. Another jumper from the right elbow. It's Ellis who chases down the miss. Ellis missed a cutting Mac West. He dribbles it off his foot. Brennan's right there. Ahinakwa steps in rhythm. Jumper no good. Thought the referees missed a holding there as Ellis went for the offensive board, and you saw the jersey being tugged. Moser now going downhill, trying to find his teammate Tuttle. Defense closing out well for the Dons. Tuttle will now line one up from the top of the arc, off right. Mac West now dribbling up the ball. Has 4 points, hasn't scored a point since early in the first half. West being guarded by Allen. Tries a step back jumper, creates the space. No good. Jackson Brennan and Trey are battling for the ball. That's Tuttle, correction. And it's Brennan who gets called for the foul. Still a 3-point lead, 6.5 minutes left to go here in this first half. Okay, thanks for tuning into Dons Basketball here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. My name is Noah Alvarez. Matt Mowers will check back in for Irvine Valley, as well as Giannis Aldeguer. Moser gets it down low to Mowers. He's being guarded by Maxwell. Baseline cut by Aldeguer. Jump ball there between Brennan and Aldeguer. The two players have a little stare down as Brennan was standing up and above Aldeguer. Possession arrow in favor of the Lasers, so it'll stay here. 17 seconds left up on the shot clock. Entry pass to Mowers off the inbounds. Mowers looking very crafty there on the right block. Created some space against Maxwell. Maxwell grabs the miss, though. And Jackson Brennan. Maxwell hitting the floor. Might have stepped on somebody's foot. Mac West now going baseline. Look at this defense there by Allen. No space, but Mac West fights through the contact. Ammon Allen wants an offensive foul. But that was just really great defense and some better offense. Now Allen gets tripped up. Mowers trying to tip it to himself. And that's that height advantage coming to a factor. And a timeout called by Irvine Valley and head coach Jason Gary. So 5.5 minutes left to go here in this first half. Again, coming to you live from the Bill Cook Gymnasium. My name is Noah Alvarez. Thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. 30-second timeout, so we'll take a quick commercial break to catch our breath and be right back with the action.
Life doesn't change overnight. It takes effort and dedication. It takes learning new skills and putting yourself and loved ones first. At Santa Ana College, you can complete a full-time accelerated online program in just 2 years. Choose a program that meets your needs and changes your educational dreams into a well-deserved reality. Building the life you want means taking a first step. Start your journey at Santa Ana College. Where it leads is up to you.
Back here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. My name is Noah Alvarez. Excited to be broadcasting you 2 games here tonight on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. Don's currently taking on the Lasers here on the men's side. The women's got things started here at 4 o'clock. defeating the likes of Santa Monica College. We'll pull up the score in just a second. It's amazing how fast you could forget things as Alan Moser gets it off the inbound. Lasers are going from right to left in their navy blue uniforms. Three-pointer here, no good by Allen, and Maxwell skies up for the rebound. 77-59 was the final score in that women's game as they defeated the Corsairs of Santa Monica. 5-point lead here for the Dons. 5 minutes left to go in the first half. Cameron Swiss pulls it back. He's been a steady point guard for the Dons this season. Looking to find Ellis on the roll. Ellis doubled here. Took him a while to call that jump ball. It was either going to be a foul or a jump ball as Aldeguer was all over the back of Kelvonte Ellis. Now the players will try and clean up the sweat left up on the floor. And the Lasers, the past 24 seasons, were led by head coach Jerry Hernandez. It's a new head coach at the helm, Jason Gary. Been fortunate enough to get to know both of Jerry Hernandez's sons, Daniel and Anthony, Anthony being the oldest. Both of them are also following their father's footsteps and into the coaching world. His youngest son, Daniel, an assistant coach here on the coaching staff for Jason Gary. It looks like there's a holding, a foul called on Garrett Trayer. Jerry's oldest son, Anthony, a director of one of the academies down south in Southern California. Magic Elite is the name of the academy. On the inbounds, here's Ahinakwa. Looking to go middle, spinning now to his right, using the glass. It's a three-point play. Ben Ahinakwa with a grown man move on Matt Mowers. So Ahinakwa will go to the line for a three-point opportunity. That's the 17th foul by Irvine Valley, so they're now into the bonus. Second personal foul on Mowers. Ben Starks will come in. Again, just a 7-footer. You could just see his towering presence, but hasn't really been super impactful this season, only averaging 9 minutes per game, 4 rebounds, and 4 points for the Lasers this season. Dons on defense here. The Lasers looking to get into their offense. Nearly lost there by Aldeguer. Allen with Jackson Brennan in front of him. He'll get a screen from Starks. Good on-ball defense here by Brennan. Freshman from Colorado. Deep three-pointer by Moser. And Moser finds the target. It's a 5-point lead here for the Dons. Cameron Swiss yells out the play here for the Dons. Freshman from Pacifica Christian. Ellis rises up for that mid-range jumper, no good. Rebounded by Starks and the Lasers. Moser just looked like he lost his footing there. No one was around him. Almost tripped and ate it on the hardwood. Moser was Swissed on him. Going towards the middle of the lane. Wanted a foul call there, but none is given as Ellis slows it down and gets it to Brennan. Brennan trying to go baseline. He dumps it off for Ahinakwa. Ahinakwa using his pivot foot. Will have to get out to avoid the three in the key. Ellis with the left hand, getting it around Ben Starks. Ellis with an aggressive drive there. Ellis now has 4 points on the evening. Leading scorer is Ben Ahinakwa, and it's not usually his game, but he's sort of been in the right spot at the right time. Also had a big three-point play earlier in the first half. Down low, left block, can't get the friendly roll there. It's Trayer. Tipped out of bounds by Starks and the Lasers. Jaitis Hayes and Mac West will come back in. Always love seeing how head coach David Bragg uses his substitution patterns. It's a relatively deep team. I would say there's about 11 players that play in the rotation constantly. When you count the starting 5, then you use the likes of Jaitis Hayes, Constantino, Maxwell, Peterson, and Washington. Occasionally we'll see a Samari Barnwell as well. Loose ball on the floor, and they're going to say it's Lasers ball. Both coaches are arguing. It looked like Mac West was being held. by his foot, and IVC arguing that Mac West was kicking his player, but again, it looked like both teams were probably guilty of a foul there, so good no call there by the refs. Mac West comes hard on the hedge. Moser able to handle. Again, those are the different defensive looks that the Dons will give. Here's a three-pointer, right wing, no good. Rebounded by IVC, so they'll get a second chance point. Hustle there by Trayer. Allen thought about it. Moser was so free there on the left wing because of the moving screen by Trayer. So West will inbound here for the Dons. Just over 2 minutes left to go here in this first half. Again, thanks for tuning in to Dons basketball here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. Chaitis Hayes hands it off to Mac West, going downhill, right up into Allen. Allen playing some good defense. It hits the side of the backboard, and the Lasers are running. Allen goes right into the chest of Brennan. No call called. And Chaitis Hayes will push it up. Mac West, again, too deep. Amin Allen streaking ahead of everybody and will lay it in with the finger roll. It's back to a 3-point lead for the Santa Ana Dons. Big crowd supported here for the IVC Lasers. They're not too far, and it's probably winter break for a lot of people who are working in the school setting. Nonetheless, the Dons lead by 3. 1:49 left to go here in the first half. Let's see if there's some score updates from around the 3C2A. Again, my name is Noah Alvarez. As we look up some scores from around the 3C2A here in Southern California. Riverside City and Saddleback playing tonight. Riverside City has a 39-34 lead. That game is just beginning the second half. Cypress has a 43-27 lead over Orange Coast College. Also in the OEC, Santiago Canyon with a lead over Fullerton College, 54-46. It's going to be a big one. 8-point lead. Still 17 minutes left to go in that second half. And that's all the action going on here tonight from the Orange Empire Conference. Nearby, ELAC taking on Long Beach City College. ELAC leads 55-31 over the Vikings. Also in Southern California. Actually, no score updates yet from Mount Sac and El Camino, so we'll update you from the scores around the 3C2A as well as the OEC. Coming out of the timeout, Kamari Washington out there with Jaitis Hayes, Tyler Peterson, Javon Maxwell, and Mac West. Pass intercepted. Nearly intercepted by Moser. Mac West not too happy with the call. Moser playing some pestering defense. Brennan will come in after Tyler Peterson makes the errant pass. So an early substitution, Cavante Ellis will come in for Mac West. Now the Lasers are really dialed it up defensively. The Dons have 4 turnovers, the Lasers have 5. Dons are out rebounding the Lasers 19-15. Moser hands it off to Allen, 29-26. Dons are shooting 37% from the field. Here's a three-pointer. Banged in by Nate Tuttle. Now it looks like the Lasers will settle into a zone, a 1-3-1 it looks like. Chaitis Hayes and the Dons getting into their offense. Jackson Brennan draws 2 defenders. Someone's open. Maxwell takes the 9-footer and gets it to go. Giving the Dons the lead back once again. Dons are now shooting 39% in the field. Also, the Lasers shooting 39% from the field. Lasers getting into the offense. Moser coming off a screen. Wild mid-range jumper there, and Hayes grabs the rebound. 5-on-4, but Ben Starks does get back quickly. Kamari Washington lines up a 3 and splashes it in. Kamari Washington now having his first 3-pointer of the game. His first points of the game on the evening. He's the team's leading scorer, averaging near 15 points. 20 seconds left up on the game clock. 4-second differential between the shot clock, so they will have to take one before the buzzer sounds. Now 9 seconds left on the shot clock. Allen lost it, waiting for a teammate to touch it. And they're going to say Amin Allen with an illegal move there. He went up for the shot, then tried to lay it off to his teammate, but his teammate started to roll, and then he just tried to box out Washington, and he held Washington as a lot of Dons players were going for the ball. 7 seconds left now. The Dons lead 34-29. Looks like head coach David Bragg wants some more shooters in. Peterson and Swiss coming in. No, Peterson will actually stay at the bench. Little confusion there. Fouls on Amin Allen. Kamari Washington, the southpaw. Sophomore transfer from Citrus College. Makes the first one. Chartise Hazelon will come in for Maxwell. Again, Washington is a sophomore. He played in only 2 games for Citrus College. Wasn't making it into the rotation, so decided to transfer here to Santa Ana College. And he's had a great season thus far, averaging 15 points per game. Coming off the bench, really owning that 6-man role. Here's the final 7 seconds of the first half. Moser gets it off to his teammate, deflected by Ellis. 1 second left. It's a chuck up there by Aldeguer, and Aldeguer couldn't get it at the horn. So it's a 7-point lead for your Santa Ana Dons. Again, thanks for tuning in to Dons basketball here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. We'll take a break. In about 13 minutes or so, we'll come back with some scores from around the 3C2A, as well as some first half statistics. Don't go anywhere, folks. An exciting finish brewing here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel.
People always ask us, what's a Don? And our response is easy. To us, a Don is someone who embraces the grind. A Don is a person that brings passion. Someone who takes advantage of all their opportunities. A leader, a dreamer, a winner. The question we have for you is, are you ready to be a Don?
When you get to hoist the trophy, the next season comes with a big target on your back. There isn't a man in that dugout who isn't clear on the objective. A coach who knows what it takes, sophomores who are hungry for an encore, and freshmen who want to cement their name in history. So no matter the time or the place, regardless of the adversity we may face, we don't hang our heads, we hang banners. There's no room or time for panic, because come May, we know how to create that magic. The bumps and bruises along the way may have taken a toll, but come postseason, the only thing on our mind is back here on the Santa Ana College. Oh, forgot to put the volume up. Back here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. My name is Noah Alvarez. There's the horn to mark the signal of the beginning of the second half. Score currently at the moment, 36-29, advantage of your Santa Ana Dons. Dons are shooting 41% from the field, while the Lasers are shooting 36%. Dons leading scorer is Ben Ahinikoa with 7. There's 3 players with 6. Javon Maxwell, Cameron Swiss, and Mac West. Some of the guards have had trouble scoring at the rate that they're used to here with a tough Lasers defense. Leading scorer for the Irvine Valley Lasers is Alan Moser, the point guard, with 8 points. Also has 2 rebounds and 2 assists for the team. Both teams are tied with points in the paint, 14 points each. That's something that the Dons do like to do. They don't actually take a whole lot of three-pointers. They're a much more effective team when they're getting downhill and driving, but the Lasers have done a really nice job of cutting them off, especially when the guards go in to drive. Lasers will now go from left to right. They're in the navy blue uniforms. First bucket of the second half goes to Amin Allen. The Dons will go from right to left. Cameron Swiss, Calvante Ellis, Mac West, Ben Ahinikoa, and Jackson Brennan out on the floor. Ben Ahinikoa trying to go downhill on Ben Starks. Rises up for the jumper. Rimmed out as it was halfway down. Some pressure here being applied in the backcourt. On the rebound for the Lasers, Ben Starks is out there with Alan Moser, Alan Amin, Giannis Aldeguer, and Josiah Reed. Josiah Reed had the first 6 points of the evening for the Lasers and then was subbed out around the 10-minute mark. Don't think he came back into the game. A little surprising. And there's an errant pass to Ahinikoa. Ahinikoa was backing off and Swiss was trying to hand it off to him. Some miscommunication there by the Dons. That's now their 5th turnover. Lasers have 6. Moser yelling out the play for the team. And they're led by head coach Jason Gary, taking over his first season as head of the program. Last 24 seasons, it was head coach Jerry Hernandez at the helm. He's still helping out as an assistant coach. He's over on the second row. A lot of assistant coaches here for the visiting Irvine Valley Lasers. A lot of fans here for the Lasers, too, as they travel well. It's a miss by IVC on that possession. Mac West gets it, looking to go downhill. Goes right through, and it's a jump ball. It'll stay here with Santa Ana College, but great hands there by Josiah Reed. Mac West tried to split it on the drive. 2 players right there, and he had no luck in doing so. Mac West will inbound it. Who will step up in scoring for the Dons? Calvante Ellis on the right block, gets it out to West. West with Allen on him. Rises above him on the jumper, halfway down again. Alan Moser using his speed. Drops it off to Allen at the top, being swung around. Good close out there by Swiss. 18 seconds left up on the shot clock here for the Lasers in this possession. Moser will get a screen from Reed. Looking to operate. Both defenders go with Moser, so he leaves it on the pop man to Reed. Reed's three-pointer is no good. West going on the far side now for the Santa Ana Dons. Swiss looking to lose Moser, and it's stripped out by Josiah Reed. Only has Calvante Ellis to beat. Jackson Brennan comes from behind and pokes it out of bounds. Calvante Ellis looked like he was struggling on the run there. He's wearing a sleeve on his right calf. We haven't seen him wear that earlier this season. And he's been one of the key players for the Dons. Didn't play last season, but 2 seasons ago in that 22-23 season. Chaitis Hayes and Kamari Washington both checking in. It's a 3-pointer for Alan Moser. Want to do a better job of keeping tabs on him. And it's out of bounds because of the foul on IVC. Moser on the push. Second team foul. Dons have still yet to score here in this second half. 36-31. Only the Lasers have scored 2 points. Both teams led by good defenses, believe it or not. The Dons do average 86 points per game, but they do a lot of that on their defense, but creating turnovers. And Jackson Brennan showing good sports, or looked like he was showing good sportsmanship to help his defender up after the foul. And Brennan will go to the line for 2. That's what the Dons need more of, going to the line and converting on their free throws. Free throws ended up being what hurt them against Riverside City. Again, it was a crazy game that featured an even wilder ending. The final score was 74-71. It was a last-minute 3-pointer from half court by Jaden Miller that ended up giving Riverside City the win. The Dons shot 16 of 27 from the line, 59%. Guys like Mac West went 5 of 10. Cavante Ellis went 0 for 2. And that really came back and shot the Dons in the foot. Brennan hits the first. Freshman from Highlands Ranch, Colorado. Long ways ago, a long ways away. Moser dribbling it up for the Lasers. Chaitis A's into the game. He's one of the better on-ball defenders here for the Dons defense. Ahinakwa guarding Mowers. Mowers with some pressure all around him. It's Ellis who grabs the miss there. Moser got a good look at 3-pointer. He has hit 2 of those already in this evening's game. Ellis now to Washington. Washington looking to get going. The guards have had trouble creating some separation here. Hayes out to Ellis. Ellis going baseline, gets it out to Hayes. Hayes with 5 seconds left on the shot clock, being guarded by Allen, gets a screen from Washington. Now he goes the other way, and Washington uses the right hand underneath Amin Allen. Good move and crafty by Washington, who now has 7 points. Tied for the team lead. Should be a jump ball there by half court. Took a while for them to call it. That's going to be Ellis and Aldeguer tied up near the half court line. Josiah Reed will inbound. Moser coming off some screens on the inbound play. Going baseline is Aldeguer. He gets some separation of Ellis. 3-point attempt for Allen, and Allen can't find the straight. 9-point lead here for the Dons. After the first bucket was there made by IVC, the Dons have made the next 4 points. 4-0 run here for the Santa Ana Dons. Hayes dumps it off to Ellis, and Ellis was cutting in. Hayes expected him to stay on the block. When looking closer at that right sleeve that Ellis is wearing on his right leg, does look like there's some tape underneath that leg sleeve as well, so maybe a cut or some injury that Ellis is dealing with. Here in game number 16 of the season, Dons are looking for win number 11 against the IVC Lasers. Pass intercepted by Ahinakwa, miscommunication on the Lasers end. Kamari Washington now has it on the far side. 7 points, tied for the team lead. Tough move in the middle. He grabbed his own miss, but it was both him and Aldeguer that were there. Hayes playing good defense there on Moser, but Moser gets it back after the block. Timeout called by IVC. 40-33 is the score. Just under 15 minutes left to go. Again, thanks for tuning in to Dons basketball here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. My name is Noah Alvarez. Dons are led by head coach David Bragg in his 22nd season. Been at the head of the program since 2003. While the Lasers are led by first-year head coach Jason Gary. Gary did spend 14 seasons as an assistant under the legendary coach Jerry Hernandez. Last 2 seasons, though, he spent with the women's basketball team for IVC. Jerry Hernandez played himself at JUCO, at the JUCO level. He played at Cerritos Community College, went on to play at Cal State Fullerton only for a season. He then decided to start his coaching career and began assisting at different high schools. Began assisting at the community college level at Cerritos Community College. Won a state title in the 95-96 season. For trying to blank on the first name, but I believe it's Bogdanovich. That was the head coach of Cerritos at the time, and head coach Jerry Hernandez was an assistant. And in 1995, he took the job with Irvine Valley as an assistant, became the head coach in 2001. Sorry, it was 1994-95 season, so right before he got the job here at IVC, it was. So 40-33 is the score. Jaitis Hayes to Washington. Washington going baseline. Good defense there by the Lasers. Underneath the trees, Washington trying to get it above Mowers, and Mowers impacted that shot. Some backcourt pressure here being applied. Miguel Llamas into the game now for the Lasers. Out there with Matt Mowers, Josiah Allen, Amin Allen. Josiah Reed, excuse me, was the other player, and Mac Washington. Kamari Washington coming up with the steal. Gets it out to Brennan. Brennan lines one up. Nothing but net on the three-pointer. Brennan lines one up, and it's nothing but net from beyond the arc. It's Josiah Reed. Fifth player is Giannis Aldeguer for the Lasers. Aldeguer lines one up. Too strong on his three-point attempt. Mowers grabs the offensive rebound. Man, he's been really clever with those spin moves and the half spins, and just even watching him gets me a little dizzy here from where we're posted up at. Mowers with some excellent footwork. He's 6'5", and can only imagine if he had the 7-foot frame that his teammate Ben Starks had, what kind of problem he would be and what kind of offers he'd be getting to the next level. Nonetheless, he will go to the line for 2 free throws. It's only the first team foul by Santa Ana College. Ben Ahinuko will check in. Ahinuko is out there with Jackson Brennan, Kamari Washington, Mac West, and Jaitis Hayes. 5 on the floor for your Santa Ana Dons. It's now a 9-point lead for Santa Ana College. Just under 14 minutes left to go. Some full court pressure being applied by Llamas. Hayes has no trouble getting deep into the lane. Now it's kicked back out. Hayes does have it, gets a screen from Brennan. Brennan out to Washington. Washington spinning to his right shoulder. They're giving Ahinuko a lot of space. He can hit that mid-range jumper. No good on that shot attempt. Down low to Allen. Allen going straight up into Washington. He loses it. Mowers grabs the loose ball. Llamas will take a three-pointer top of the arc. Off right. Tipped out by Santa Ana College. Seems like the Dons are winning the battle and what pace of play that the teams will play in. The Lasers are being sped up and forcing some quick decisions, bad passes, and some early shots on the shot clock. Not traditional that you see that from an Irvine Valley Laser team. Allen coming off a series of screens, gets a good look at 3, but misses everything there. 9-point lead here for the Dons. Head coach David Bragg from his coaching bench yells out the play for the Santa Ana Dons to run. Mac West now has it. Leaves it off to Swist. To Washington on the far side. Continuing to get swung around. Brendan trying to create some space. Washington with 7 seconds left up on the shot clock. Washington going to the middle of the lane, right above Mowers. Ahinuko will grab the miss. To Swist. Swung around to Brennan. Brennan now going to go middle again. Inviting the contact, and Allen will be guilty of the foul. A 3-point play coming up for Jackson Brennan. Again, the freshman from Highlands Ranch has been so pivotal for the Dons this season. Averaging 12 points per game this year. One of 4 players averaging more than 10 points in double digits. Mac West and Kamari Washington both averaging nearly 15 points. Jackson Brennan averaging 12 and Ellis averaging 12. Both Maxwell and Swiss not too far off, both averaging 8 points on the season. Jackson Brennan gets his free throw to good. The free throws have been much better for the Santa Ana Dons. Now 10 of 10 from the charity stripe here tonight on the season. They're shooting 67% and had a woeful 59% performance against Riverside City that cost them a victory. Back to a 12-point lead for the Santa Ana Dons. Remember, the Lasers haven't scored more than 50 points. So if the Dons can get to 50, they'll be in good shape to beat the Lasers here tonight. A lot of contact there. Ahinico will get called for the block. Going to the line for two. Looks like it's Giannis Aldeguer. He's the freshman from Fairmont Prep. It's a small prep school over in the city of Anaheim. Looks like someone's going to grab the mop. Try and mop up the wet spot over here in the red painted area. Someone's got to teach him how to use the mop. He was using the top side of the mop instead of the bottom side. That's Josiah Reed. More players will come over to help out and get the moisture. And during this break in the action, let's see if we can get you the current standings in the OEC. Again, it's not maybe or potentially. It is the best basketball and many other sports, but it is the best basketball conference here in the 3C2A in the entire state of California. Currently in first with a win tonight over Fullerton College. It's Santiago Canyon College. They're now 3-0 in conference, 13-3 overall. Riverside City also 3-0. Fullerton 2-1, Cypress 2-1, Saddleback 1-2. Santa Ana and Irvine Valley sitting at 0-2, but one of these teams will have one win as they continue to mop up the floor now with some towels, and must have been a really wet spot down there. Orange Coast at the bottom, 0-3, 4-12 overall. So let's go ahead and get you those scores then, because that means Santiago Canyon ended up defeating Fullerton College. They had a lead early in the second half. The final score in that one, 86-78. That was at Santiago Canyon, so it was an away game for Fullerton. They very rarely lose in conference play the last couple of seasons. Last year, they made it to the Final Four. 2 years ago, they won the state championship. I believe, I could go back and double check, but I believe they won it in the 2018-19 season as well. 2 for 2 on that free throw trip by Giannis Aldeguer. Swift out there with Ellis, Mac West, Washington, and Ahinoka as Brennan checks out. West being guarded tightly here. First time we're seeing Jackson Jennings now into the game for IVC. Don's having some trouble with their guards getting downhill and wanting to drive like we usually see them do. Only 17 points in the paint thus far. Swift's going to launch one up from three. No good, off right, and Mowers grabs the rebound. Mowers has been a busy man in the post. Swiss tried to apply some ball pressure and create a steal. Lasers will get into their half-court offense. They're trailing by 10. Jennings, that new player on the field, gets by West, and West try to wrap around and poke it out. He's guilty of the foul. That'll be the third team foul by Santa Ana College. Both teams have 3 team fouls. Fullerton did win it in 2019, so my memory serves me correct. And under head coach Perry Webster, who was a player at Saddleback and helped Saddleback win one in 2010 as an assistant in 2015. Now doing good things at Fullerton College himself. Washington on the double. They now get it to Aldeguer, back to Mowers down low with the Ahinoco guarding him. Aldeguer creates him some space. Get no good on the three-point attempt. The Lasers have really struggled in that category. And the Lasers coaching staff was all clapping like they thought it was out of bounds on Santa Ana. However, it's out of bounds on the Lasers. So it'll be Don's basketball. Lasers are shooting 4 of 20 from beyond the arc. Don's 2 of 9. That's not their MO, and they haven't taken a whole lot of threes. Playing to their strengths, but they haven't really been able to get downhill a whole lot either. They have gone to the line for a few more times than the Lasers have. They have 10 free throw attempts, while the Lasers only have 8. Swiss gets it on the inbound. Get into their horn set. 2 screens being set up. Ellis now has it on the mid-range. Again, no space. A lot of tough defense there being played by the Lasers. Mac West will take a cuff. Contested 2. Saves it from going out of bounds. Shot clock didn't reset. Ellis will line one up from 3. It's short. Body's hitting the floor. No numbers for the Lasers as they slow things down. Jennings dribbles it off his foot. Don's basketball. 9th turnover of the evening for the Irvine Valley Lasers. Both teams struggling to score here in the beginning of the second half. We're near the halfway mark. 10.5 minutes left to go in this one. 46-36 is the score. Mac West trying to go left. No, that's Kamari Washington, who skies up, draws the contact, and will go to the line for 2. That's what kind of game it's been for the Dons. They have to go into the lane, drive through the traffic, and try and draw some fouls because they haven't had a whole lot of good looks, wide open looks inside the 2-point arc or inside the 3-point arc. Brennan's the leading scorer with 10. Hinoqua has 7. Washington has 7. Gets his 8th bucket there. 8th point. Javon Maxwell will check in. He finished the first half with 6 points. Was effective in finding an open spot along the baseline, sometimes in that dunker spot. When the Lasers defense collapsed, he was able to cut a couple easy opportunities on the offensive end in the first half. Kamari Washington goes 2 for 2. Ellis playing some good defense here in the half court. Dons haven't shown a whole lot of different looks. Sticking with their half court man-to-man. An occasional trap and full court press here and there. Very different than the approach we saw against Riverside City. An aggressive drive there by Josiah Reed. He got Ellis up in the air. 4th team foul by the Santa Ana Dons. There will be 2 shots. Reed just kind of bullied Ellis all the way down into the red painted area. Reed on the season. I started off 15 games for the Lasers, shooting 75% from the line, but missed the first one. Not a broadcaster jinx. I said it after he missed it. Just FYI. Misses the second one. Maybe a little broadcaster jinx there as Ellis gets the rebound and the Dons have Hayes out on the floor, and Hayes airmails it. Our cameraman's going to have to be a little bit more aware there as it nearly took his head off. Hayes will get quickly subbed out, and Jalen Constantino comes in. It's a bad pass by Hayes. He saw Brendan open in the corner. Constantino, high school teammates with Mac West over at Capo Valley Christian. 12-point lead for the Dons. Amin Allen trying to get loose from Jackson Brennan. Brennan had his hand straight up, but they're going to call a foul on Brennan. The freshman now has 2 personal fouls. It's the 6th. Head coach David Bragg trying to plead his case to the referee on the far side. So Amin Allen, he's a sophomore from Prosper, Texas. We'll do a little bit of research for you because I'm sure like many of you are wondering, I don't know where Prosper, Texas is as well. Let's see if we can find it for you relatively quickly before his second free throw. He goes 1 for 2 on the trip. It's in the suburb area of Dallas. It goes out of bounds and it'll stay Dons basketball. It's a city north of Frisco, Texas, if you know where that area is, next to Louisville Lake. A little bit north of Dallas, so coming a long ways away from home to come play here at Irvine Valley College. Maxwell has it up top. Constantino getting the Dons into the offense. Running the point guard position, finds Calvante Ellis in the painted area. The 2 players quickly collapse on him. Now Mac West has it with 8 seconds left up on the shot clock. West looking to create some space. He's going to have to take a tough contested shot late in the shot clock. Here's the 2-pointer. No good. That's that Lasers signature defense. Streaking ahead of everybody is Allen. And Allen Ooh, they're going to say it counted. I thought it was a travel. Ellis having some words with Allen. Nothing chippy there, but Ellis was trying to help up his teammate Maxwell. And it was Allen who was feeling himself after the tough bucket there that ended up kind of bumping Ellis and then thought he was in his way trying to intimidate him, but Ellis just tried to help up his teammate Maxwell. Good sportsmanship by both teams. He misses another free throw, 1 of 3 in his last 3 attempts. And Hinoco will check back in. Let's see who can bring the offense here for the Dons. Good help defense we've seen all night by the Irvine Valley Lasers. Constantino loses the ball, and it's a steal for Josiah Reed and the Lasers. Still a 9-point lead for the Dons. They've struggled offensively in the last 4 minutes. Ellis swats this one as away. It's 3rd block of the evening. He had to go up there and get that one. He only stands at 6'4". But man, can he elevate. He's averaging 2 blocks a game. His 3rd block of the evening here. Again, the Dons don't have a player on their roster that's active, at least, taller than 6'6". That's Javon Maxwell. Drive here by Giannis Aldeguer, and that's the 17th foul now by the Dons. The Lasers have really done a nice job of being the aggressor, putting their head down and trying to draw some contact. And they've gone to the line a few times here now in the second half. They have struggled from the line, 7 of 13. 7 of 13 from the line would good enough for 53%. Now 8 of 14. But that's not going to get the job done. Very similar to what we saw the Dons struggle with against Riverside City. Swiss did have 6 points early in the first half. Let's see if he can get going offensively. As we pass the halfway mark of the second, Washington on the drive. Looks like they're going to call a foul on the drive on Amin Allen. (16th foul. Next one will be in the bonus. Jackson Brennan coming off the curl, and the baseline jumper is good. Brennan leads the team with 12 points. 50 points here for the Dons. Remember what I said earlier, the Lasers haven't scored 50 points in a conference game this season through 2 games, so Dons are shaping themselves up in good position to win this one. The Lasers have had their offensive woes. It's poked away. Brennan comes away with the steal. A 3-on-2 fast break for the Dons. Brennan slows down, gets past Ammon. Oh, he leaves it long. Ellis grabs the rebound, goes up strong, and Mowers, is guilty of the foul. So good hustle there by Brennan and Ellis, who grabs the miss. Allen wanted a foul, but it was off the loose ball. Ellis knocks in the first. Again, Ellis didn't play last season, played in that 2022-23 season, was second team all-conference that year, averaging 15 points per game, 8 rebounds per game. Sophomore from Warsaw, Virginia. And again, I apologize if I'm butchering this name, but from Rappahannock High School over in that Warsaw area. 1 for 2 on that free throw trip. Mowers and the Lasers break the Dons' half-court trap. Moser has the ball now for the Lasers. Head coach Jason Gary looking for some offense here. They get it down to Mowers. Out wide, they swing it around. Moser has it with 5 seconds left up on the shot clock. Jackson Jennings took too many steps on the catch. He was going to his left, took 2, and then started cutting back to his right before he put it down on the hardwood. 10-point lead here for the Dons. 7.5 minutes left to go in this one. Cameron Swiss has the ball to Jackson Brennan. Mac West. Kamari Washington spinning in the lane and throws it up with the right hand. That's his offhand. A tough bucket there for Washington, but the Dons needed that one. He now has 11 points here in the evening. Transfer from Citrus College, now in double digits. Swiss gets hit. Here's a pop there on the pick and pop, and it's Garrett Schreier who misses the three-pointer. Lasers now 4 of 21 from beyond the arc. Washington going downhill, free throw, jumper, and he gets it to go. A 10-footer, too much space given, and on the switch, Alan Moser, a much shorter defender than Alan Ammon. And that's going to force the Lasers to call a timeout, a full timeout here. And with that timeout, we'll take a break ourselves. 55-41 is your score on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel.
People always ask us, what's a Don? And our response is easy. To us, a Don is someone who embraces the grind. A Don is a person that brings passion. Someone who takes advantage of all their opportunities. A leader, a dreamer, a winner. The question we have for you is, are you ready to be a Don?
Back here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. Again, thanks for tuning in wherever you may be tuning in from. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Some full court trap here out of the timeout. Ellis comes away with the steal and a tough bucket there in the lane. We haven't seen a whole lot of full court press and trap by the Dons, but they're saving some of their best for last. Ellis and Washington out there with Swiss, Ahinaqua, and Brennan. Three-pointer here, wide open one. And it's money. Nothing but net there by Aldeguer. Cameron Swiss bringing it up. Yamas checked back in for the Lasers. He's out there with Jackson Jennings, Mowers, Aldeguer, and Trayer. Washington turnaround jumper near the free throw line. No good. Numbers here for the Lasers. Swiss try to draw the charge. And they're going to say that's on the drive, no shot. So it'll be a 1-and-1. 8th team foul. Second personal foul on Cameron Swiss. Javon Maxwell will now check in for Ahinaqua. .13 lead here for the Dons. Next game for the Dons coming up will be this upcoming Wednesday. Another doubleheader here at the Bill Cook Gymnasium. Highly recommend you come check a game out here. But if you can't make it, you can always tune into the games here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. They'll take on Saddleback College here. The game will tip off at 7 p.m. The women's will tip off right before at 5 against IVC. And that's the women's game first at 5, men's game second at 7 p.m. Swiss also dealing with some full court pressure here. Brennan gets it on the deflection. Don scrambling into their offense, and it's tipped away, ends up in Mower's hands. The Lasers do have numbers, a 4-on-3. Out wide to Aldeguer. Aldeguer lines up another three-pointer. No good. Jennings chases down the rebound. Here's another three-pointer for IVC. Trayer comes up empty. Swiss with lots of space. Maxwell trying to throw a pass wildly to Brennan, and Brennan had to step out of bounds to save that one. Timeout called by head coach David Bride. Again, just to share some scores from you from around the Orange Empire Conference. All the games are done today. This is the last game in action here in the Orange Empire Conference. The big one, obviously Santiago Canyon defeating Fullerton College 86-78. Fullerton College has won now 6 straight OEC conference titles. So that'll be huge as far as Santiago Canyon maybe pushing them for a conference title this season. Riverside City defeated Saddleback 79-61, and Cypress put up 100 against Orange Coast. 103-62 is the final score in that one. Dons currently lead 57-45. Getting ready to come back from the timeout. We'll see who the 5 on the floor is. The 5 for the Lasers is Yamas, Mowers, Jennings, Aldeguer, and Trayer. Washington, Hayes, Ellis, Ahinaqua, and Brennan out there for head coach David Bride. Lasers getting into their half-court offense. Less than 5 minutes left to go. Chances are running out here. They can't have too many empty trips in their possessions. Mowers draw some contact. There was 2 players around him, Ellis and Ahinaqua. They're going to call that on Ellis. 9th team foul, so 1 more and they'll be in the double bonus. It's only the 2nd personal foul on Ellis. Washington, the leading scorer with 13. On the season, Mowers has been an impact player off the bench. Has played in all 15 games, but has yet to start this season. Shooting a very fine percentage, too, from the free throw line, 81%. Really been impressed with Mowers' game. He's in that 6-man role like Kamari Washington is for the Dons. Mowers has some excellent footwork that we've seen on display in the low post, both offensively and defensively. Jaitis Hayes gets to the near sideline, and he has it stolen away from Mowers. Mowers by himself ahead of the pack. It's it past Ellis. And a quick 4-point swing here. Now the Lasers trail by 8. Some more full court trap and press that we're seeing being applied here by the Lasers defense. Ellis gets it across the timeline. Hayes tries to settle the team into their offense. 10 seconds left up on the shot clock. Hayes has it poked away by Jennings. Jennings can't believe the call. It's the 8th team foul. So both teams are in the bonus. 1-1 coming up for Jaitis Hayes. On the season, Hayes has played in all 15 games. He did make 4 starts, and he's shooting 75% from the line, averaging 6 points per season. And known for his defensive presence, his on-ball defense, some of the best that you'll see, especially as a smaller guard, only standing at 5'11", sophomore from Moreno Valley High School. 30-second timeout called by head coach David Bragg. Hayes looks like he has something in his eye, so we'll take a quick timeout ourselves. Be right back in a jiff.
Life doesn't change overnight. It takes effort and dedication. It takes learning new skills and putting yourself and loved ones first. At Santa Ana College, you can complete a full-time accelerated online program in just 2 years. Choose a program that meets your needs and changes your educational dreams into a well-deserved reality. Building the life you want means taking a first step. Start your journey at Santa Ana College. Where it leads is up to you.
So after the timeout here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel, Jaitis Hayes will go to the line for 2. First free throw is good by Hayes, so he earns the 2nd trip to the line. Ahinaqua out there with Ellis, Mac West, Jackson Brennan, and Hayes. Yamas out there with Mowers, Jennings, Aldeguer, and Trayer. A bit surprised to see not that many starters or key players in for the Lasers. No one really in foul trouble with 4 fouls, so And it's a young squad, and head coach Jason Gary still looking for his closing 5. Trayer into the offense now for the Lasers into their half court. Llamas has it at the top. Jennings looking to get Mowers going in the post. Mowers definitely shuffled his feet there, spun to his right, and gets the bucket to go, but a traveling violation missed, and Gary's going to call a timeout. So it's a full timeout here. And we'll take another commercial break here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. Don't go anywhere, folks.
People always ask us, what's a Don? And our response is easy. To us, a Don is someone who embraces the grind. A Don is a person that brings passion. Someone who takes advantage of all their opportunities. A leader, a dreamer, a winner. The question we have for you is, are you ready to be a Don?
Back here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. My name is Noah Alvarez. Timeout was called by IVC. Both teams are in the bonus. It's an 8-point lead here for the Santa Ana Dons. 3.5 minutes left to go. Swiss gets past the timeline as the Lasers applying more forecourt pressure. Handoff here to West. West trying to get downhill, but the Lasers have done such a nice job of cutting off lanes that help defense. Very typical of the Lasers, especially under head coach Jerry Hernandez. 4 seconds left up on the shot clock. Swiss is going to have to take a tough shot. Hits the rim. Grabbed by Mowers, and Lasers have numbers. 5-on-4 as Swiss gets up off the floor and finally gets back. It's stripped by Brennan. Finds the possession of the Lasers. Shot clock did not reset. 14 seconds left up on the shot clock. West guarding Jackson Jennings. Aldegear thought about the three-pointer, now gets it to Mowers. Mowers trying to find a three-pointer. Swiss past the cutout. Back out to Aldegear, and it's a shot clock violation by the Lasers offense. That Don's defense, so good at closing out, so good at mixing up the looks, so good at causing chaos and wreaking havoc. That's now the 14th turnover by the IVC Lasers. Swiss gets past the trap, gets it out to West. One player is open. Brennan on the far side, gets a little bump. West on the left wing, trying to get past Jennings, rises up above him on the jumper, and they're gonna say it's 2 shots for Mac West on the jumper. Not a whole lot of contact there, but Jennings is guilty of the foul. He's from Evans, Georgia. So a few players on the roster coming from far places, out of the state. It's very typical what you see here in the state of California. The 3C2A, home to some of the best community college programs in the entire country. And whether it's football, basketball, baseball, softball, soccer, water polo, you see the best competition here in the state of California. So kids come from out of state. If they don't get a look out of high school, and they'll come here to California to play at one of the community college programs in the various sports and have a shot at continuing their playing career. 2 for 2 on the trip. It's a 10-point lead. Yamas gets it to the offense, and now we're seeing Amin Allen once again. Mowers with his back to the basket, being guarded by Ahinakwa. Oh, man, look at those spins, man. He put him in the spin cycle on the right block. It's 2 points for Mowers. They just got to keep feeding that man, especially with the smaller Ahinakwa on him. Mowers now has 11 points. He's in double digits on the season, averaging 12, so right around that season average. Another timeout called here by Jason Gary. Again, he's in his first season as a head coach. Spent 14 seasons as an assistant under head coach Jerry Hernandez. Hernandez had a very prestigious career. He did win the Orange Empire Conference title once. He appeared in the playoffs 13 times. He had 20-plus wins in a season 11 different times in his 24-year career. He sent multiple players onto the next level, including both his sons. In that 2016-17 season, he got to coach both his sons, Anthony and Daniel. Anthony was a sophomore. Daniel Hernandez, a freshman that year. Anthony went on to play at the Dominican University over in the Bay Area, while the following year, Daniel went on to transfer to Cal State San Marcos, both schools in Division II. Daniel now an assistant on the staff, while Anthony also in coaching an academy down in Laguna Hills in South County called Magic Elite. So both his sons following in their father's footsteps, somewhat coaching in the basketball world. Jay Hernandez still here as an assistant for IVC. Went nearly into the backcourt. Cameron Swiss will have to be very careful. He gets doubled by Trayer, and Swiss is going to call timeout. Not a whole lot of room to operate. Someone's going to have to come up and help the point guards. It's a 30-second timeout. An 8-point lead here with a minute and a half left to go. The Dons are going to have to execute on offense, try and chew as much time off the clock as they can, and also hit the free throws if they do get fouled. They can't force any bad shots. They can't rush anything. Expect the Lasers to keep throwing some traps at them, trying to create steals and an easy bucket, and to speed up the Dons' process. There still is a chance. Again, 8-point lead here for the Santa Ana Dons. Both teams are at 9 team fouls, so the next fouls by either team will send them into the double bonus, and it's a guaranteed 2 free throw look. Brennan will inbound here on the near side. Washington out with 4 other starters: Ellis, Ahinakwa, Brennan, and Swiss. Minute and a half left to go. Swiss being guarded by Yamas. 7 seconds left up on the shot clock. Washington looking for a shot. Out to Ellis. Ellis is going to drive, has to chuck one up. No foul called there. Ellis wanted some contact. Swung out to Aldeguer. Aldeguer runs right into Ellis. It looked like the referee down on the side was going to call a charge, but no whistle called there. The Dons do get the rebound off the miss. Very fortunate there for the Dons. Out to Swiss. Swiss was going to drive, thought better of it. Dons just trying to chew some time off the clock. Brennan being guarded tightly by Yamas, and that'll be the 10th team foul by IVC. Ellis did a really nice job of putting himself in position for a charge. He was camping there, and no foul was called. Those are always tough, those block and charge calls. But Brennan will go to the line for 2. Now tied for the team lead with 13 points on the evening, 4 for 4 from the charity stripe. He also has 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 steals. The Dons didn't score as much as we're used to them seeing, again, averaging 89 points or 85 points per game this season. However, they've only averaged 70 points in conference play. So tick down, but this is a tough, hard-fought victory if the Dons can hold on. The less than a minute left to go. The Lasers would need a miracle and need to start chucking up threes. Aldeguer beyond the arc. Moser checks back in. We haven't seen Moser in about 10 minutes. Again, Moser was one of their more effective scorers. Exited the game with 10 points, and I don't think he's been in since the 11 or 12-minute mark of the second half. And of course, don't want to make assumptions or guess the wrong thing, but can only assume that's maybe some disciplinary actions taken by head coach Jason Gary, keeping some of his guys out. We even didn't see Ammon Allen for a long time on the floor, as well as Josiah Reed. Again, 2 very different play styles here between IVC. They like a lot of structure, get into their half-court offenses. They like to have a certain amount of touches and passes before someone can get a shot off. Or the Dons just like to run and gun. They like to play fast, regardless of who gets a touch. They don't always have to call a play. They just want you to score as fast and as often as possible. 2 for 2 on that trip. So very different coaching styles here in the programs, and maybe we're seeing some disciplinary action taken by head coach Jason Gary, keeping some of his starters and better players on the bench for a majority of this second half. It's going to be a foul on the drive, so 2 more free throws coming up for Swiss and the Dons. Swiss is at the free throw line, shooting 66% on the season. Again, averaging 8 points per game, the freshman from Pacifica Christian over in Newport Beach. First free throw is good. Mac West will check out, and Ahinakwa will check in. Swiss goes 2 for 2 on that trip to the free throw line. Now has 8 points on the evening. Moser was looking for a teammate. Now he does find Allen. Allen's wide open, and no doubt about that one. Can't leave that man open. It's back to a 7-point lead now and 30 seconds left to go. Head coach Jason Gary is going to call his final timeout. Moser did a nice job of waiting for his teammate to open up. The Dons looked like they were in a bit of a different look, maybe a half-court trap or some sort of different look to confuse the Lasers, but you got to keep better tabs on Allen, also on Moser. Those are the 2 better shooters. Aldeguer, you'll live with if he takes a 3. No one else is really going to scare you if they take a shot from beyond the arc. And now the Dons are going to have to make their free throws and continue to have good possession while chewing off the time clock. There's a 0.1 second differential between the game and shot clock. So it's 30.1 up on the game clock and 30 exactly. So if the Dons could keep away from the Lasers for the entire 30 seconds, then they could potentially end this game, but expect the Lasers to foul. They're going to try and generate a steal. And there's the quick foul there by Josiah Reed. So they foul Ellis. Ellis will go to the line for 2 on the season. He's shooting only 50% from the line, 15 of 30 at the charity stripe. He's been such an impactful player, though, the sophomore, averaging 12 points per game, also averaging and leading the team with 9 rebounds per game, averaging also 3 assists. We mentioned that he leads the team with 2 blocks per game, as well as 1 steal. He had a game earlier this season. I'll try and look for the box score as he makes the first. He had 8 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists, and 4 steals. I think that kind of shows you what kind of player and impact he has. Not going to be the leading scorer. It was against Grossmont College. I don't think you want him to be your leading scorer, but he'll lead the team in a lot of other categories and does a lot of the little things, does a lot of the dirty work for the Dons. And it's Jackson Brennan hustling down the offensive rebound, and so he will now go to the line for 2 as he's fouled. And that might put to bed any chances that the Lasers had in coming back. It's an 8-point lead, and Brennan's a lot sharper from the free throw line. First one is good. If he makes this one, it would put them up by 10. So a 10-point lead for the Dons, 27 seconds left to go. Allen Moser and the Lasers are expected to chuck up some desperation threes. They're running into a half-court offensive set. Good defense here is still being applied by the Dons, and it's a turnover there, and looks like the Lasers aren't going to foul, so it'll be the first conference victory here. As of a round of applause by the home crowd, Swiss will dribble it out, and the Dons pick up their first victory of conference play. They finish this game 68-58. Again, thanks for tuning in to Dons basketball here on the Santa Ana College Athletics YouTube channel. Leading scorer was Jackson Brennan, 16 points with 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 7 of 7 from the free throw line, as the Dons not only pick up their first conference victory, will pick up their 11th win on the season. Now 11-5, while the Lasers drop to 500. They're now 8-8 on the season. Again, my name is Noah Alvarez, for Cammy Lewis and Sal, and everyone who helped out with the broadcast, saying thank you for tuning in to Dons Basketball. We'll catch you guys next time.